Yo, what's going on, everybody? Nelson from Hoop Line. To my left is David Fung from the Fung Brothers.
Yo, what up, everybody?
Yo, man, so the NBA season just finished. The Golden State Warriors repeated championships once again.
Boring.
Yup, but besides that, at the very end, we had the NBA awards.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of outstanding players from this year's NBA season, from, incoming rookies to current NBA superstars. So in this video, we are going to go over each NBA awards and give you guys some of our thoughts on what we think about them.
All right, I'm excited to recap the picks and talk about it, man.
I'm excited to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, let's do it.
Starting with one of the most, anticipating awards is the Rookie of the Year. Throughout this past NBA season, there have been, two big names.
Three, maybe.
Three, but there has been two kind of fighting for it head to head. But that third person was, pretty nasty in the playoffs.
Right. So obviously we're talking about Ben Simmons versus Donovan Mitchell. Obviously Jason Tatum started destroying it in the playoffs, but playoff performance is not factored into any of the regular season awards whatsoever. Yeah, it was funny because Ben Simmons ended up winning.
Yep.
So it probably went Ben Simmons, Mitchell, Tatum. But in playoff performance, it probably went Tatum,
Donovan,
Mitchell, Simmons.
Yeah, it was the other way
It
around.
went reverse order.
I mean, how do you feel about that? Did you feel like Ben Simmons deserved to be the Rookie of the Year?
If you count him as a rookie, he probably does.
Not a rookie.
But really, even if you look at the end of the day, Donovan Mitchell is the go-to option on the Jazz.
True.
Joel Embiid is the go-to option on the Sixers.
True.
Who do you think the Sixers need more, Embiid or Simmons?
If I was a Sixers, I would take Joel Embiid, right? Because Joel is a dominant force. He could pretty much do anything. Simmons right now, he's just like a facilitator. He don't even got no offensive moves, offensive package in his bag where he could just go to work.
I thought Donovan Mitchell should have got it.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell has been nasty all year,
Did
man.
you think? I thought
Donovan Mitchell could have got it, but then in terms of the votes, it wasn't even close.
Who do you think ultimately out of those three is going to end up the best player? I feel like Jason Tatum.
I think Jason Tatum, man.
I feel like Jason Tatum might end up like Paul George, but better decision maker.
True. I mean, they got the same body. 6'8", 6'9", lanky, pretty nice handles.
I feel like Donovan Mitchell, to me, is going to be like Dame Lillard.
D-Wade, kind of.
Like, maybe success-wise, not as legendary as D-Wade, but maybe more legendary than Dame Lillard. I feel like Ben Simmons, he's the biggest wild card.
Obviously, Ben Simmons' ceiling, everyone looks at him as, oh, he's
Maybe
the next LeBron,
he might
next
have
Magic Johnson.
Theoretically, he might have the highest ceiling out of everybody due to size, right?
Yeah, and his skill set, besides the shooting.
I personally don't think that Ben's ever going to learn how to shoot.
His shot it looks ugly and weird.
I think Markel got a better chance of learning how to shoot.
Markel's looking good in the offseason right now. Y'all playing the Clips, he be dunking, he had handles, he got everything. Moving on, we got the most improved player of the year. The three candidates are Victor Oladipo, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Clint Capella.
And obviously the winner was
Victor Oladipo. I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's the only all-star tier player.
No competition between the other candidates, right?
I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised that Dinwiddie was on there.
You know what he kind of reminds me of? A better scorer of a Sean Livingston.
Okay.
Similar body type.
Yeah, because he's really tall.
Light, lanky, but he can shoot though.
And then Clint,
he did improve.
He did improve, but it was almost like.
But he didn't really got to do nothing,
yeah,
right?
CP,
He's got to catch lobs, rebound. He is a good defender in the paint, but he's the new version of Dikembe Mutombo.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely Victor Oladipo. I feel like, what was it that allowed him to blow up? Because if you've watched Victor Oladipo train before, he always looked like he had the all-star potential.
He got all the package, man.
He got everything. He really has no weaknesses.
He was never put in a great system. Obviously, Orlando, not a good system. Then
but he was the go-to.
He was the go-to guy, but not the right system. Then he got put in OKC, but you got to defer the ball to Russ. He didn't really get the chance to develop. But then this year, all-star caliber.
I see.
Indiana forgot who Paul George was ever since Victor started shining.
I don't see any holes in his game. No glaring holes.
Inconsistency in terms of shooting sometimes.
All right,
that's probably the only thing. But he could shoot.
He could hit 5 threes in a row sometimes too.
Yeah.
But maybe not a pure knockdown shooter. But
he got handles, athletic, can drive, can shoot.
I like his decision making better than Paul George. And I think he's a better leader. I think Paul George is a really good defender, but I think he gambles a lot. Victor Oladipo, he might play more contained defense. Paul George, he try to play the lockdown, but when you try to ultra play the lockdown, sometimes that's bad.
Right.
So shout out to Victor Oladipo, well deserved. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Next up, we got the Defensive Player of the Year award. The three candidates are Rudy Gobert, Anthony Davis, and Joel Embiid.
And obviously the winner was
Rudy Gobert. I was surprised.
Yeah, it caught me off guard because he won it before, right?
Yeah, he won it before. Rudy Gobert can't knock on him. Phenomenal defender, rim protector. But I thought Joel Embiid actually was a huge improvement. Like, he was like a sleeper.
I thought AD was
I always knew AD was a great rim protector, but I thought, Joel Embiid deserved it more because he really, like you didn't know he was a defender at all, right? So he really showed out this year.
The Defensive Player of the Year award, I heard it's one of the hardest ones to judge. There's blocks, right? The flashy plays. And then there's team defense. And then there's almost like funneling players.
It's just like how great you rotate too.
Yeah.
Just like to recover.
Or even being able to tell your teammates to rotate.
It's not all about stats, It's just because you lead the league in steals or blocks doesn't mean you're a
like
great defender.
Draymond probably still deserves it.
Let's just say like Steph Curry gets a lot of steals. Lonzo Ball actually gets a lot of steals because they play the passing lane really well. That doesn't necessarily mean they're a great defender.
Right.
I think Defensive Player of the Year is just like anything you do to impact your team in the art of defense in any type of way. Probably all factors into that award.
Yeah, but obviously if you look at Gobert, it's not a bad choice.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about lanky.
I mean, they don't call him the Stifle Tower for nothing.
He's really agile for his length.
Yeah.
You thought Embiid should get it, huh?
Yeah. He moves his feet well. He rotates really well, to get the blocks. He recovers well, like if he gets beat. So it's like, damn, I didn't know. Like, he puts in a lot of effort in his defense. Like, he puts in a lot of pride. Compared to like someone like who has a similar body or even caliber player, Karl-Anthony Towns. Terrible on defense. Right?
It seems like he doesn't care.
Right, he doesn't care.
It seems
He's
like
slow and he can't make the read.
It seems like Cat shuts his brain off, and then when he goes on offense, he tries to turn his brain back on. Honestly, I thought that Karl-Anthony Towns was gonna be better than Embiid, but clearly Embiid has more like the mindset necessary for a superstar.
For sure. Moving on to the next award, we have the 6-man award. We have Fred VanVleet and David Fung, aka Eric Gordon.
Obviously, Lou Will won. Crazy. I mean, he's been winning this award for him and Jamal have been going at this award. Obviously, Jamal this year, had a little bit of a drop off, averaging about 10 points a game for the Timberwolves. But, I mean, Lou Will still going hard, averaging near all-star numbers off the bench.
That's
at least scoring-wise.
He is a phenomenal scorer, man. When he was in the Lakers, I went to a lot of the Lakers games. He just, scores so effortlessly. Even as small as he is, it's just, he gets a shot off really fast.
It's an interesting case study. It's a little bit different than
for a 6-man to drop, 50 points in a game, that's crazy.
He might be one of the most talented pure scorers the NBA's ever seen.
Probably, very nonchalant. And
kind of
silky smooth with sleeper bounce. He was driving and dunk on you sometimes. You wouldn't even know.
But the two guys who didn't make it, Eric Gordon and Fred VanVleet, you know what hurt me then? I'm such a big Eric Gordon fan, right? He did kind of shaky in the playoffs. Fred VanVleet was kind of shaky.
Non-existent. He was injured, though.
Oh,
Fred VanVleet was injured in the playoffs. It don't matter, man. That whole Toronto team was boo-boo against the Cavs.
Well, it just goes to show you. I mean, just the fact that they had 2 All-Stars and they were giving it to Fred VanVleet.
For real, Kyle Lowry and DeRozan.
They didn't want to shoot it.
They didn't want to shoot it. Let's give it to Fred, who has a busted shoulder. Next up, we got the Coach of the Year award. The 3 candidates were Dwayne Casey, Quinn Snyder, and Brad Stevens.
And of course, the winner was Dwayne Casey because he led them to a franchise record 59 wins. But guess what? Then he got fired.
Oh,
they fired the Coach of the Year.
That was the very next day that the NBA Coaches Association voted for Dwayne Casey for the Coach of the Year award, and the very next day they fired him. Anytime a team does bad, the number one person they look at or they point fingers at is always the coach.
Yeah.
It sucks because it's when a team does good, all the credit goes to the players who carried the team or did well for the team or whatnot. But when a team does bad, it's always blaming the coach.
Except for Celtics, though. I felt like Brad Stevens gets the praise.
Brad Stevens always gets the praise.
Obviously, I thought Brad Stevens should have won Coach of the Year.
That was my pick, too.
I mean, obviously, I thought Brad...
By far, I think Brad Stevens has the best knowledge, IQ, he got the whole package.
He got everybody playing to their maximum potential.
He had a bunch of, bench players almost take down the Cavs and LeBron. Or even just get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I think you take a look at Quinn Snyder, and I like him, too, but the reason is the Jazz were, a low seed. They were an 8 seed.
True, but given the talent that they have too, I was just gonna say that given the talent that the Jazz have, they don't really got no superstar players. They got a dominant rookie. They got some
defensive player
Gobert, and then a bunch of role players.
I can
no
see
really superstars. And then they kind of got to the playoffs, got to the second round.
I mean, I like Quinn Snyder. I actually like Quinn Snyder and Brad Stevens over Dwayne Casey.
Yeah.
But I can see why they gave it to Dwayne Casey. It wasn't really Dwayne Casey's fault in Toronto.
Right.
He doesn't tell DeRozan and Kyle Lowry to miss all their shots in the last 5 minutes of every game, in every playoff game they ever played. But it seems like they do. Shout out to Dwayne Casey, though,
Congrats.
He used to be an assistant coach for the Sonics a long time ago, so Sonics.
Congrats, man. Congrats. And last but not least, the final award that we're going to go over in this video, the the most valuable player in the NBA this year?
Okay, so the candidates were
James Harden, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James.
勒布朗詹姆斯 in Mandarin, man, 勒布朗詹姆斯.
So the award went to the beard rather than the brow and the king. The beard has finally earned his MVP rights. Some say he should have got it last year instead of Russ, but you know, this year, finally got it.
Yeah, I mean, I do think he should have got it last year, and LeBron deserved it this year.
You think so?
Yeah, I think LeBron deserved it this year, but Harden deserved it last year.
A lot of people can say LeBron deserves it every year in the last like 8 years, 7 years.
Yeah.
Given his numbers, but
I think they just like don't want to give it to him. The D'Antoni system is designed to make people look good. I mean, I think Harden, I'm not mad at it. LeBron already got a couple MVPs, so like just let
I think Harden deserved this one. I mean, he put up the same numbers even with Chris Paul coming.
He did kind of like just so in the playoffs again, right?
No, he did good up until the Western Conference Finals.
Right. He had a so Western.
He kind of
Conference.
just disappeared again at the very end.
Yeah.
But
why do you think that is? Why do you think Harden, despite being so awesome in the regular season, can be considered pretty shaky in the playoffs?
I don't know, man. It's just like he just gave up in the playoffs. Like the last few games, it's like he knew that he was defeated. But like, shout out to Harden, man. He is the second person to win the Sixth Man Award and end up winning the MVP throughout his career. The first one was, you know, no other than Bill Walton. Shout out to Bill Walton. You know what's crazy? This is going back to OKC. OKC drafted 3 consecutive future MVPs. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden.
And they were all on the same team.
Yeah, and they were all on the same team back then. I bet you, I seen this post or meme or whatever. These people say 10, 15 years from now, there's a picture of James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant. People would think that was a Photoshop. Because they would have never thought that, oh shoot, 3 MVPs or whatever, all in the same team.
Right. Man, I mean, you know, shout out to Harden. I mean, Harden is like, in terms of like how many points are on that team that he either assists or scores himself, it's like a pretty high percentage.
Yeah, for sure.
But like you said, LeBron obviously he could win it every year.
Yeah. But I don't know, maybe like you said, they don't want to give it to him because he had a few already. They want to share it around with the other players in the league. But, you know, LeBron puts up the stats, but sometimes stats don't mean everything. Man, shout out to James, man. I met James Harden at the Adidas event. He dapped me up. You know, I'll show y'all right here.
Did you tell him you were in the commercial?
I didn't get a chance to tell him I was in the commercial. I was like, yo, James, you know we in the same commercial, right? But I was like, nah, it was real quick. You know, he had to go do his thing. But it was cool, though.
Right. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the awards concept, to be honest.
Yeah, like you said, they made it kind of corny. They made it they wanted to make it very like influential or big or like glamorous and stuff like that when it wasn't
very LA,
very not that big of a deal, right?
Like I kind of missed the press conference when like KD's like, yo, mom, you never be mom. Like I thought that was a tight moment. That was touching
because it's very kind of low key. It's very low key, subtle. It doesn't have to be like on a big stage and everything, you know.
At the end of the day, though, however, you know, if the players enjoy it, the league's making money off of it. I just hope that they speed it up. It was long awards. Overall, I mean, I support it. It's a cool way, you know. If like I said, if it's something that everybody enjoys.
Yeah.
I would like to see somebody represent the Journalists Association to justify their choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The voting system is not 100% right.
Yeah. What changes would you like to see, man? Like I said, I need to see a statement from the Associated Press or something like justifying the 50-50 calls. You know what I mean? Whether it's Donovan Mitchell over, you know, this person over that person. I'm like, I just need to see a statement.
How would you feel if the NBA changes things up and let some of the NBA players put in their votes?
Yeah, they should make up like a third at least.
Yeah, but then again, everybody they'll probably get 2 buddy systems, huh? They'll probably vote for like their friends or like be kind of biased.
Yo, that'd be funny if somebody on the Rockets actually voted for somebody else or something.
CP votes for LeBron.
CP be like, man, I did half the work.
For real, I was supposed to be on the Banana Boat team with you know Carmelo and LeBron and D Wade and you know.
Do you have any predictions for next year? I know it's tough to say. I think the biggest prediction for next year that I want to put on you right now is most improved and rookie of the year. Yeah, and MVP. Those 3.
All right.
Those 3. My pick for the 2019 rookie of the year is DeAndre Ayton. I think
that's not a bad choice.
I think he's just gonna get the usage rate.
Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton could be pretty nice.
They said, hey, DeAndre Ayton says Shaq and Kobe 2.0.
That's true. That could be a dominant force if you can.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's a B grade Shaq and Kobe though.
Might even be C grade.
Yeah, similar.
My pick, I think I'm gonna have to go with. This might be a surprise. Luka Doncic. I think, just like you said, usage rates in the Mavs. I mean, they got Dennis Smith Jr. They got an old Dirk. They got Harrison Barnes, who's kind of like, you know, in and out because you know he's got inconsistent injuries. But I think Luka Doncic will be pretty nice.
I think they're gonna put the ball in his hands.
Dennis Smith brings it up, drives, and just kicks it to him.
Because Dennis Smith not really a facilitator.
Nah.
I would say for most improved, man, I was actually thinking through all the people in my head. I just thought of this really stupid one, but I'm rolling with it. Mario Hezonja.
Oh, Mario. Or Mario. I think it goes by Mario.
Whatever,
but...
you know, Mario.
I actually really like Mario Hezonja, man. When
very
he came in the league,
talented, very
He had
talented.
that killer instinct. He had
He
that
does.
drive. He said he wants to go at all the best players. LeBron, he said he wants to kill everybody.
He has a certain recklessness to him.
Most improved player, huh? I'm going to have to go with... you can call me biased or not because I'm a Laker fan.
You gonna say Lonzo, huh?
I'm not going to say Lonzo. I'm going to say Kyle Kuzma.
Okay.
Because Kyle Kuzma kind of have a spark of, you know, of his potential or how great he could be. Everyone said he was a steal of the draft last year at the 27th pick, and he kind of showcased. But I think this year, in the offseason, he's really put in the work, and I think next year he's probably going to pop out. He's probably going to drop 18 a game.
To me, though, with Kuzma, it depends on what else he's doing. Because he can score, but how is he not, in my opinion, a slightly glorified Ryan Anderson?
That's true.
Right? A slightly more, you know, flashy Ryan Anderson. Like, in his prime, you know,
He's
Ryan
going to have
Anderson
to, like,
hurt
create
now.
for others, too,
Yeah.
which he doesn't really do.
And
but-
D-Up.
D-Up, yeah.
So, I mean, and then MVP, who you got?
The MVP for next season, huh?
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Giannis.
Oh, yes. Giannis. Giannis is one of my favorite players, too. He was in a discussion this year, too.
Yeah. Team wasn't good enough.
Team wasn't good enough, man.
Any dark horse candidates? Like, Oladipo was a dark horse this year. Some people, let me throw this out there. D-Book.
Devin Booker as what?
MVP? Or he just scores?
Nah, just scores, man. I mean, he was on the list, I think, early in on the season this year.
Just putting
But,
up
like-
buckets, yeah. He scores as much as MVP.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like Dame Dollar, man. Dame Dollar.
Oh, shoot.
Well deserved, you know. Always, you know, slept on. Underrated player, man.
Shout out to Dame Lillard, man.
He knew what time it is. He always knows what time it is, but it should be time for him to get an MVP.
All right, you guys. Yo, thank you so much for watching our opinions. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought of all the awards. But not only that, who you think is up for most improved, MVP.
And also, if you guys want to, throw in the Defensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year, and Sixth Man of the Year. All right, guys, make sure to check out these other videos over here. Check out our social media and links to David Fung's channel, Instagram. All that will be in the description box down below. And until next time, Nelson and David, we out.
Peace.